Alright, continuing with the tour of Nebraska. This time it's going to be racetrack focused. We're taking off from Millard, Nebraska, which is essentially Omaha. And we're going to head down the interstate to Ashland, where a track used to be, but it'll still be here in game, I80 Speedway. Then we're going to head straight down the road about 13 miles south to Eagle. Head over to Gage County to Beatrice, then go over to Fairbury to hit the USAC track, if it's in there. I'm not really familiar where it is. And then we're going to head up to McCool Junction, and maybe, depending on time, we'll either land in York or we'll head over to Columbus, look at US 30, and land there. So that is the plan. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, we are in the Seneca Seminole. Sorry, I get the two confused. But we got a nice ugly green and white paint scheme, and we will get taxiing here. Which way is the wind blowing? Can I even see? Do we have enough fuel is the question, too, that I should be asking. I assume we do. Where are fuel gauges? Pressure. Oh yeah, we got a ton of fuel. We'll be good there. Alright, well, let's start taxiing off to the north. Take off south. Oh. Nope. We've got a bit of wind from the north, so we will taxi down south towards I-80 and take off that direction. God, I forgot how silky smooth this game is already. I'm always expecting it to, like, have issues and to be taxiing with no problem. It's just weird. It's like, it's flight sim. It's supposed to be a jittery mess for me. Why do we not have GPS? What's up with that? Searching. Why are we still searching for satellites? Alright, it's acquiring them now. Apparently, it's just taking longer today. It's not even cloudy. Well, I mean, it's cloudy, but it's not thick clouds. Are we good? Are we good or not? Wow, I've never seen it take this long. This is weird. Okay, it looks like we got 3, so we're good to go. And, taxi up here. This, just a lot of training, and, then the, medical helicopters and police choppers, I think, fly out of here as well. And then there's a few air med companies, or one air med company that is active at this place. So let's where am I at? Zoom out. That's what I want. Not zoom in. Okay. So we will get rolling. See if I can remember how to fly this thing. That I know how to fly very well anyways, but let's get up and go. It at least should be a little better than my helicopter flying. Up. Alright. North Street. Turn back up that way, head over the lake, catch the interstate. We'll be out of photogrammetry area quite soon. Back this down, and let's trim this out a bit because it's wanting to drop the nose. Trimming. That's a little better. We are still climbing. We are going quite quick. Pull the RPMs back. Good there. We can also just go ahead and throw that on. We don't want for speed -1. What are we doing there? Game. Alright, we're gonna just hold at 2000. I forgot to hit the... Well, I guess we're not on live weather, so that doesn't matter. There's our... Oops. Let's go ahead and do that. And heading... We're just gonna fly off of autopilot. So, Warner Park is off over here. You're not going to be able to see it. It's not photogrammetry. And where Union Omaha plays is off there, I believe. Yeah, somewhere around there. But now we are at the edge of Omaha. And we got the interstate heading off this way. That will take us to the Ashland Greenwood exit. Track I-80 is listed as in Greenwood, or at least that's what we always called it, but we're going to head in that direction. It shouldn't be too long, it's just past the river. But where we landed on the last flight in the helicopter is right up here. This is that outlet mall out there. Gretna. Video there, and I-80 right below us. And then Highway 6 heads off that way. There's actually a lighthouse on the river on Highway 6, which is weird, because the Platte is normally just deep enough for like nothing. Maybe tubers. But I'm sure before everything was dammed up, maybe there was a bit of trade going up it. Or maybe it's just for a joke. I don't know the history behind it, really. We are now at the Gretna exit, where we landed. Truck stop here. We'll head over in this direction. Second, get turned here. Head over to the Platte River Bridge. Thinking about doing a video sometime down the road. Maybe this will be on the second channel since it's not going to be race car related, but do it of just following a river to wherever it goes, picking away, or just picking a random road and following it and see where I end up, or go to a photogrammetry area and like have a scavenger hunt, looking for companies and places that like try to find it all in a certain amount of time. It might be fun. Bridges still get covered by water. I wish they would be able to solve that, but just how it goes. So, back there is where the Platte and the Elkhorn, or wait, somewhere along here the Platte and the Elkhorn come together. I think it's back there. Right there, possibly. My friend was telling me about a golf course that they're opening up over here, or reopening. So that will have a ton of elevation change that you don't normally get in Nebraska. Might have to check it out and be terrible at golfing on a hill, rather than terrible at golfing on flat course. Then we got the Sac Air Museum here. We got a national or a state park here. There's like a little animal wildlife place over here somewhere. Yeah, I think it's right here with this road that you can like drive on, possibly. If that ever goes out of business, you got to start of a good road course. Let's turn some more. Flying over top of truck stop, which is in the worst possible, or not a, restroom here, which is in a terrible spot because they're trying to get up to speed, and there's an exit right there, and it's always a massive cluster. Let's turn more because we are coming up on Greenwood. Sadly, the track is no more. They tore that thing down quickly. No one bought it, so they said screw it and parted it out. But I believe it is... Is it this exit? For visuals right now. Yeah, it looks like it is. So the racetrack should be down here. Or nope, there it is. Turn a little more. Turn a little more. Slow it down just a tiny bit. So I80 Speedway, although it's got buildings around it rather than stands. That is no longer a track, sadly, but just part of it. If someone's not willing to operate it, can't keep it going. Then Little Sunset back behind it. There used to be a track over here, actually 1.5 tracks. Someone built part of a track and then realized that they built it too big and didn't have room to finish it. Don't know how you do that. And then there was another smaller track over in the area. So 3 different tracks have failed in this area, which is kind of crazy for being in between Nebraska's 2 biggest cities right on the interstate. But that's going to happen. So now we're just going to come back to this road and follow it south to Eagle, which is not too far away. And then we'll aim ourselves at Beatrice. There's nothing in Lincoln. Lincoln's had 3 different racetracks they're all gone now. At the Capitol Beach, had one up by, actually it might have had 4 different racetracks, but there was one at 14th and Cornhusker, where the women's soccer field is now. And then I think there might have been one on North 27th, and then the State Fair Raceway. But those are all gone. They well, one of them was gone. Capitol Beach, I think, was gone like in the 70s, as were the other 2 in like maybe the 80s, early 80s, and then State Fair. Once the university bought up the land, that was shut down in probably mid-2000s. Eagle, though, it's had its ups and downs, but now with Kyle Larson's series coming to it, it's kind of got some life back in it, so that's good. But yeah, not a whole lot out here. Not a whole lot of anything, just very, very light rolling hills and stupid little towns like this that you have to slow down for when you're driving on the roads. So that might be Eagle right there. Don't even remember what this town is called. Pull that up on my phone. But, yeah, not a whole lot there. Couple of people. That would be Alvo. I knew the name. I just couldn't put it together. And yeah, that's going to be Eagle Raceway right there. Third mile, high banked. It's awesome to go watch. Sprint cars are great there, 410s. 360s, 305s are okay. Late models, I've never enjoyed there, and they don't really race there too often, but I haven't been there since, I haven't seen late models there for years upon years, so I don't even know what a modern late model would race like there. You can see the track coming into view. Slow down again. That's slowing down from 100 and something knots to 90 is going to do much. There's the town of Eagle. And there's Eagle Raceway. That looks really good, except for they need to figure out how to make the AI understand what grandstands are. 'Cause that's a big grandstand out there. You got the little mini Eagle there, the pits all around it. But that place is a good track. It's just a pain to get in and out of. Alright. Up the speed. Let's head to the southwest. And we're going to zoom out here. See if we can find Beatrice on the map to make sure that we're pointed at it directly. I mean, I know I could just put it in and fly direct to it, but I'm already taking the easy way out on flying. Alright, so I think that's Beatrice. Where's that Beatrice? might be actually going too far west. Got Lincoln off in the distance. See all of it. I think that's the grain bins, and then there's the state capitol that you can barely see. Maybe just clip southeast Lincoln, right around where Highway 2 is. What is this? Is this a little motocross track? What are you? No, it's not really. It might be a little motocross track. Okay. Didn't know that was there. Need to up our elevation a bit here. Kind of lost some altitude. Let's head back up to, let's get to 2,500. Just give us a bit more view. Put our gear warning back on for now so I don't forget about it. But yeah, there's the state capitol, downtown Lincoln. Those are those the grain bins there? It seems really far away from it. That'd be like, that's supposed to be like around 27th Street. I would have thought that was there. I don't know, I could just be really wrong at what I'm pointing at, but that's got to be the capitol. Yeah, that's definitely the capitol. Maybe that's just the industrial area at 70th Street. I think so. There's the grain bins, and then we should have another set of grain bins down south. Alright, 2,250. That's good. Are we at Highway 2 already? We are at Highway 2 already. That heads off to Nebraska City. They're building a big loop around South Lincoln. Well, they've pretty much built it. Lincoln is one of the worst towns to get around in because it's built like a city of 30,000, and that's what the roads are like. Like, you just cannot get around. This is Bennett, Nebraska. Lake I went to down here. Pretty sure it was this one. I think that's the only one big enough for public. Just double check that I'm headed in the correct direction here and Beatrice isn't. No, Beatrice is way down there. Okay, it's further south than I thought. So we're 24 minutes into this. Yeah, definitely going to not be going to Columbus today. Although, Fairbury shouldn't be too far off of Beatrice. No, it's pretty far, further than I remember it being. And then McCool is pretty far away from Fairbury, so we're going out of our way, but we're going to catch all the eastern, southeastern Nebraska tracks. But yeah, we are still in the hilly bit. I know you're looking at this going, these are hills. Yes, these are hills in Nebraska. When we get over to, my hometown area, racetracks around there, That's where it gets flat in the Platte Valley. Flat, no trees, just farm, farm, and farm, and farm. This game, though, man, it's so good. If they could clean up some of the AI-generated stuff and get more current, like, maps and photogrammetry at a lot more places. Like, in 20 years, I assume the final flight sim game that I buy in, like, 20 or 30 years, I assume we're gonna have, like, drones that have went out and updated things every month, that there's gonna be a new update from drones that they have flying around for Bing Maps or Google Maps or whatever the thing is at that time. Because right now photogrammetry is still done by aircraft. My brother used to do a lot of it, and once they can figure out how to either shrink the cameras or make the drones bigger, you take the human element out of it, and then all you're fighting is the weather element, and you're going to get a lot more done. So one day that might all be pretty accurate. It would be awesome to get it in more areas, more photogrammetry, small towns, and just photogrammetry of an entire area. It doesn't even have to be a town, but there's got to be a money purpose behind it, and they're able to sell these photogrammetries to cities and counties and a bunch of other things to be able to tax and monitor new buildings. What is this town? This is Hickman? I believe that is the town of Hickman. We're now almost south of Lincoln. I've lost Lincoln, but the highway should be coming up soonish. It's been a long time since I've been to Beatrice in real life, so that's the airport though for Beatrice. I wish those lights weren't as visible in the daytime as they are in this game. At least from certain angles, it just seems like that's a bit too far. I love this plane though. It flies so good. There's something about little twin engines that I like. I wish there was a decent King Air. The default King Air is not very good, and the pay ones they don't look very good. Once they get what my brother has flown for jets, then I may do a video with him. Could do a video with my dad because I have the jet that he flies, so I could arrange that, or just have both of them on and have them try to teach me how to do things properly. Instead I just fly around and look at the ground. It's like looking at maps. So yeah, there is a whole lot of nothing out here. There's the highway, it turns off there. There's actually when I was in into photography, there's a tree like right over here that is at the end of this little creek, and there's a certain point in late summer where the sun would line up right behind it, and I've always wanted to go get that photo. If there was enough like water in the creek and the tree, it would be one of the most perfect photos that I could get, but sadly I just don't have time to do that anymore. Driving around and doing the channel don't get along. The last thing I want to do is sit and pretend to race after I've driven a ton throughout the day, which I have to anyways with real work. But alright, we're coming up on Beatrice. See what these small towns are over here. Where are you? I know I've driven into that town. It's Pickerel. Okay. Yeah, I've driven into that town because it dips down massively. Like, it's built on a hill. So, like, the midpoint of town is the highest, and then it drops on both sides. I better look at Fairbury before I get there to... Since I know nothing about where the racetrack is. Okay, found it. Been in the town multiple times. Never knew it had a racetrack until USAC came to it. But it's a very, very, very small track, so that's why I didn't know about it. Because I only really pay attention to sprint cars, and really for the last 10 years I haven't even paid attention to local racing. Alright, so we got the airport here. That is the hospital for Beatrice. And, yeah. This town's a funky town. When you have your own docu-series on HBO or Netflix or whatever it was on, you know you're in one of those weird small towns. Sorry if anyone watching is from Beatrice. It's one of those towns that thinks it's bigger than it is, too, because it's like got 100 one-way roads for no reason at all. It just makes everything a complete pain in the ass. But there's the racetrack. Turned and pointed at that. I have been to this track multiple times. Used to go there when I was a little kid and freeze to death for their spring race. I think that's the track. Yeah, because there's community college. Yep, that's the racetrack. Alright. Slow ourselves down here. Why did you open? That's weird. Alright, slow it down a little bit. And there is the racetrack. So, walls all around it, the pits line around the outside here. Yeah, the grandstands converted into a building. All these other buildings are fairground buildings, but it's a pretty interesting track. It races really, really well. It's got some kind of funky shape to it as well, but it's a good one. I would love to see that one, an Eagle, in iRacing. Alright, let's turn it west, pick up the highway, head to Fairbury. "35 minutes into this flight." Crank up the engine here. Get us there a little bit quicker. There's not going to be a whole hell of a lot to look at on this leg of the trip. Not that there was much to look at on the last one. Where is that highway? Is it there? No, it's south of us, isn't it? I'm already lost. There it is. Alright. That highway is going to take us to where we're going. So we're still at 2,500, but the ground is obviously getting closer to us the further we go west, so we will just kind of hop up a little bit here, let it climb for a bit. Yeah, this is it's definitely some like fall or early spring image now. It looks really wet and not planted. Some strange colors going on in this. Now we're to the highway. I don't even remember what number this is. What highway number it doesn't tell me. We got a little road, or a little town coming up that I don't even, it's got a name. This is probably going to be the smallest town that we cross over. Honestly don't even know if I've even known that there's a town right there if it doesn't make us slow down for it. This is the town right there. And we're definitely getting into flatter area as well. So this road down here goes southwest when I was storm chasing. Wilbur's up over there, or you can pop down to Kansas pretty easy. There is the town of Harbine. Very exciting. I think then we are headed towards that little spot there. Yeah, that looks about right. That should take us to Fairbury. $2,500. We can level that off before I forget about it. So yeah, another one that I want to do for flights, especially now that the game runs really well, is I want to go fly through England go check out all the soccer stadiums of the teams that I know from playing Football Manager. And I'm talking like National League, League 2, League 1. The teams that most people don't know about, not Premier. We got a little airport off to our right. Is that it? No, that can't be it. There's got to be a grass strip. So it might be it. No, that's definitely not it. There's got to be a grass strip around here though somewhere. Are we already to Fairbury? No, we're 41 minutes in, so already is not the key word, but I think we are. Okay. Got the river. Where's the track? I know the track's on this side of the river. Alright, so the racetrack is on this road coming into town, I believe. Is that right? Maybe right there. Alright. Is there another road going into town? Doesn't look like it. Let's make a turn directly west here. See if we can spot a very, very small dirt oval. Ooh, what happened to our sound? Did I do something to the... My engines sound weird. Okay, that's not it. There it is. There's the racetrack. Alright, let's turn heading off real quick and just turn flight director off. Hand fly it to go see this one because I was never going to be able to get it to do what I want it to do quickly. That is why I never knew. Uh-oh. That's the first freeze we've had. But that track is way back away from the town. So yeah, little midget track there. And USAC runs there. USAC midgets. Stands aren't completely broken, but still put a building on them. The track really is not defined. Looks more like a kind of cutout of a rodeo area than a racetrack, but they got a nice little decent work through it. We got two football fields and tracks right next to each other. That's kind of weird. It's not a glitch. It's got to be how it is. Alright, well, there is downtown Fairbury. I've forgotten how Fairbury even... Oh yeah, no, I remember Fairbury now. There's a little taco joint right there. And it says authentic Mexican food, and it's not. It sucks. I make more authentic Mexican food than those guys do. It's like store-bought taco shells. That is not Mexican food. Well, alright. We've been to Fairbury. I didn't know that there was a big old, what the hell am I thinking of the word? I can't even think of the word now. Place where you dig out ground. Quarry. There we go. Not know that was there. Alright, let's head up to McCool. Am I still good on, yeah, I'm good on fuel. Why did it sound like my engine changed, though? It's got me worried. Alright, let's head in this general direction. My tractor back on. And heading on. We're going to climb up a bit here. Alright. Something got screwed up. I swear it changed note. I don't think I'm doing anything bad to my engine. Losing my mind, apparently. Another quarry there. Okay. Yeah, there was something screwy going on with the sound. That wasn't me losing my mind, but it's fixed itself now. Alright, so I'm going to say that this is Geneva or York, so we will just head in this direction. McCool is another track that's been on and off, where it's been trying to be sold, and the guy that's running it's getting old, and it's eventually just not going to be. Oh, we should have an old military base that has been turned into a feed lot. That should be coming up somewhere. We'll see that. It should look like an airport. And then it's going to have some really weird, messed up stuff that the AI is trying to figure out. I'm going to climb up more. We got a ways to go, and more altitude will help me see where I'm actually headed. Yeah, this is Southeast Nebraska. It looks just the same all the way through it. And then as we get further west, we're going to get flatter with some hills to the south and north. And as we get even further west, it's going to get drier and kind of weirdly desert-like, but not quite. To the north of that, there's sand hills. I believe that's the feedlot that I was talking about right there. Looks like a game is struggling. Game is having some issues when I change views. Let's stop having issues, game. That was weird. Luckily it fixed itself. So yeah, old military base over here. They've got quite a few of them throughout Nebraska. Just your normal triangle runway setups. I think they used to build bombers, and definitely flew bombers out of Lincoln. And then you got this one, you got one up by Geneva, you got one up north of Lincoln and Scribner. And then they're just kind of, it's not as bad as over in England, where you can't go 5 feet without running into an old airport. Not all of them have been turned into racetracks like Silverstone. Quite a few have. And then a lot of them are just like industrial zones now, where they just build up buildings along the runways, or the old runways. Alright, we've probably went up enough now. Let's hold that altitude. believe we're still headed in the right direction. Yeah, going on this pass should take us directly to Geneva. We'll see another one of these air bases and fly north to McCool. We will see that racetrack, and then we will go land at the York Airport. And the next time, we will, I think we'll go, like, Columbus, Albion, Norfolk. I might have to look and see if there's any other tracks that I'm forgetting in that area. There might be some older stuff that's okay. So, yeah, these aren't trees here. This is just all feedlot. The game doesn't understand how to make that work, but you can see old runways, just triangle configurations, and take off whichever way you want to with the old bombers. Out in the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty sure Fairbury used to be a pretty massive town back in the 40s because of the war. But then it's just slowly died because there's no jobs to support 20,000 people when you don't have a military base close by. I could be getting that wrong. It's either them or Geneva, but I think it's Fairbury that used to be that big. Then we got a little town to our right, which I have no idea what it is. But I will learn. It's Ohiowa. Ohio with a W-A at the end. What do you guys got over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roads. And another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. So we got 11 roads in town. Still not as small as that one we saw. I think the only reason that we're not going to see a smaller one is because get any smaller than that one we saw, and it's just a few people living next to each other on the same road, not a town. Alright, so Geneva should be this right here. Yeah, because I see the road bending around it. The highway. Now in Nebraska, they're starting to build 4-lane highways around all the smaller towns that they go through, just to speed up traffic so that you don't have to slow down for every single town. Thankfully, they're doing that on a lot of the roads that I have to go on for work, so no more of that painful slow down to 25 miles an hour every 20 miles. "54 minutes in, so very long video, but getting to see 4 racetracks out of it. Kind of give you an idea of what Nebraska's like. Go ahead and start turning north, because maybe not that far north, but enough. Go over the other old military base that's up here. And then I think that is York off in the distance, and or no, maybe that's McCool there, and this is starts with an F. Fairmont? Yeah, Fairmont. we bouncing around so much? Looks like we're getting a bit of a wavy floatiness here. Turn it back on. Right, that's how you fix things. Heading. No. It is really dipping and diving, isn't it? It used to have that issue quite a bit, but I thought they had fixed that, but maybe it's still broken, or maybe we're just going too fast. Could be that we're just going really fast, so it's struggling with it. There's Geneva. Not a whole lot there. Nothing too exciting. There is the old military base, current airport, and then this is turned into like just random ass storage. There'll be feed, corn piled up, dead trees. They just kind of use it for whatever the hell they want. There's a couple of buildings built on that runway. I have these like, maybe the RPMs are off sequence. And that's screwing things up. I wish I could grab them both at the same time. I'm sure there's a way to do that, but alright, we're about ready to turn north, follow this highway up, and go see our final track of the tour. Another track that I didn't talk about that used to be in between Lincoln and I80 Speedway was at Waverly, a go-kart mini sprint track that I actually have raced on with a 2-cycle kart. But what is going on with this? I'm guessing those are hay bales that it's turned into, I don't know. I'm gonna go with hay bales turned into trailer homes, because it does that sometimes. Got a plant here. I think this is like an ethanol plant. Always massively smoking when we go by. You can see the corn laying on the old runways there. And you actually, I think there's a plane taxiing down there. I didn't think I had traffic on, but apparently I do. Here's Fairmont. And there is McCool. Junction Motor Speedway up there. This will be right there. Never been to the track. It's easy to get to. Just never had a reason to go to it. Closing in on an hour on this video, so if you're still with me, thank you for watching, because I don't know how entertaining this is, me just going around talking about Nebraska, but hopefully it is interesting to someone out there. So, highway once again pops around McCool Junction and heads up into York. We got our airport we're gonna go land at up there. Test that, make sure, so I don't forget gears later on. I will do that. It seems like anytime I do a flight, I end up flying over McCool, which is weird. Slightly towards it. So yeah, this is 3/8 mile, I believe. Very nice new facility. It was built sometime after the 2000s. A little too close to a small town, but close enough to an interstate. The interstate is just up here, and then you got a 4-lane highway all the way down here, so it's in a good spot. But there's not really a population around that's close to it. But you can see, stands that are supposed to be there. They've got quite a bit of banking built into the game, into the game. I didn't know that they built a mini track at some point. So, yeah. That is Junction Motor Speedway, or McCool, or Cool Junction, or whatever you want to call it. Now we're gonna go just land directly at that runway. Hopefully. We're pretty much dead lined up. Just not change anything and see if we make it there. Go take a look and see what the heading is of this runway. We are looking at a 3.5, and we are flying 349. That's why it seems like we're headed perfectly there. Alright, start backing off the speed. Yep. Okay. Just need to back down all the way. Because I will overshoot. I'm not going to be a perfect pilot landing this thing. We're at 3,300. Right there at 100 knots. Should be something we can manage. Where are the red and white lights? I think it's always really hard to tell if you're heading towards it. It's one of those things that I haven't quite learned. I know my brother has told me how to aim for a runway, but I think you got to be off to the left a bit. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. Let's turn this off. Gear is out. I've got my lights. I got one white, two white. We need one red, one white, so. Yeah, go ahead and go one click flaps. 2 clicks of flaps, nose comes up. Final click of flaps. I think you go full flaps landing this thing, and then we're gonna have to put some throttle in it to combat all of that drag. We still need to get nose down here though, because it's still showing 2 white. Oh my god, we are floating here. Let's just shove the nose down. Where's the red? Give me the red light. Red light way high. Is this working? I feel like, there we go. All right. We're massively too high. We're just gonna hold this, aim for threshold markings. Bring the speed back. We got 2 red, but that's fine. There's a lot of runway before that. We don't have to be perfect. We're lined up quite well with the center line. No wind. Cut throttle. We're down. That wasn't terrible. A little bumpy. Took a couple hits. And that will do it for our flight. Hour and 6 minutes. And we took a big roundabout way. Almost went down to Kansas. And yeah, we will take off from here next time. Head to 3, maybe 4 tracks again, depending on what the situation is, if they're on the game or not. Some have been completely wiped out, and they go by county names a lot here, so it's hard for me to, like, Butler County, and I think that's Albion, but I'm not for sure, so I've got to take a look. I've only been there once. Once we get further west, I'm going to start having a little bit more knowledge, but a lot of those tracks might not even be on the game anymore because they don't exist, like McCook, Red Cloud, some others. May even dip into Kansas, just to hit a few that I know down there, but I don't know. It's just going to be a random flight across Nebraska, talking about it, and we'll see if that's entertaining or not, but I hope you have enjoyed this, and yeah, thanks for watching.